This next video, actual footage, a nursing home staffer taking advantage of a 100-year-old dementia patient.
I can show you new things. I can show you new things. Tell you I'm a girl. You know what that means.
Team Investigation Cake News showed you video of abuse going on at a local nursing home.
Now that video, if you recall, was horrifying. Well, we continue to track this story. We wanted to go beyond the video to make sure that it affects change. The video is hard to watch. You see a registered nurse at Victoria Falls Nursing Center in Andover take 61-year-old Donna Culture out of her wheelchair and drop her on the floor.
Although old age is far away for some, for many it is just around the corner. However, can we trust our vulnerable elders in the hands of someone else? In the next part of this documentary, we will be exposing the truth behind most elderly nursing homes today.
Go to bed. Go to bed. Damn it.
Our generation today is faced with many stressful events and struggles. One of these upsetting struggles that families are facing today involves making life-changing decisions for vulnerable members in their family, such as the elderly. Family members and relatives often do not have the resources or skills needed to address the needs of an elderly individual who is unwell or who requires special medical care. Their only choice is to involve the care of an experienced facility. Elderly abuse is a national problem, and it is only going to get worse. It is truly devastating knowing that so many case studies and incidents of elderly abuse are left unreported nationwide. What are the common reasons for abuse by caregivers? Some of the leading causes of elder abuse are due to caregivers feeling overworked and stressed, as well as other issues which prevent caregivers from providing the best possible care for these elderly individuals throughout the care settings. However, are these reasonable excuses to abuse the vulnerable? The statistics involving incidents of abuse concerning elderly residents in nursing homes and care facilities are both shocking and overwhelming. More than 2 million cases of elderly abuse are reported every year, and almost 1 out of every 10 elderly individuals will come face to face with some form of elderly abuse.
I'm Audrey, I'm 70-year-old. The worst for lonely people is you think of your past. I've been there for all of them, who's there for me?
The umbrella term elderly abuse doesn't just involve one type of abuse. There are various forms of abuse. The most common types, which take place today, are the following. Physical abuse. This is described as using some type of physical force on an elderly person, which can cause harm, injury, and physical pain. Sexual abuse, which means having non-consensual sex with an elderly individual. This may involve unwanted touching, sexual assault, forced nudity, intercourse, or taking pictures of the individual when they are nude. Emotional abuse. This involves insulting the elderly, engaging in verbal assaults, harassing the elderly, and making them feel oppressed. Neglect. This is defined as refusing or failing to provide the elderly person with the care they need to live a comfortable life, and playing blind, deaf, and dumb to their existence. Financial abuse. This is defined as illegally or improperly using the elderly person's assets or other property. This may include forging their signature, taking cash from the elder, signing the elder's checks, and forcing the elderly person to sign a document they do not understand. There are many more types of abuse, and sadly, these different types of abuse are continuous and still occurring today. Many families hope to find the perfect nursing home and hope to build trust and strong relationships with employees in faith that they will treat well and take great care of their elderly family members and relatives. Do all nursing homes provide full care or live up to the expectations for the care of elderly individuals? Can we really trust these people with the lives of the most vulnerable? Or is it all a show? And is it a different story behind closed doors when the family or relatives are not around? Well, in the next part of this documentary, we will be looking at 4 shocking cases that reveal the truth of some nursing homes and the reality of the unbearable activities and incidents which take place throughout. The first case we will be looking at is about an elderly woman called Maria. Maria was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, a common form of dementia, and the following footage was set up by her concerned mother as she had a gut feeling that something wasn't right.
I was still kind of, naive to a lot of it. But, reading the CQC report and it had an excellent rating, which is obviously all you've got to go against as a gauge of what the care homes are like. And it gave it an excellent rating. 6 weeks in after her arriving at Ash Court, I noticed that she had bruising on her arms, bruising on her hands. It was like fingerprint bruising, really now. When I look back, it's like small fingerprint bruising.
Maria and her family specifically asked the nursing home for a female carer only. Yet, a male carer called Jonathan is in the room with Maria, giving her her nightly bath. He begins to push Maria aggressively back and forth whilst trying to clean her. He then punches Maria in her side and swears at her violently. Maria should have 2 female carers with her when trying to move her about. And remember that Jonathan should not even be in the same room as Maria. During the whole time Jonathan has been in the room with Maria, he does not talk to her except to swear at her, mock her, and abuse her.
Hi.
In total, Jonathan hits Maria 6 times and then leaves her in clear physical pain, alone.
Oh, yeah.
The next footage is captured on a hidden camera by the daughter of an old, vulnerable man.
You hire someone to take care of an elderly loved one, only to find out that very person you trusted is abusing them. The I-Team's Lisa Robinson has a case where the video is undeniable, but the quest for justice is just beginning. She joins us from the Update Center with the story. Lisa?
Well, after a series of strokes, Jackie Taylor brought her father home to be cared for. This spring, she hired help, only to find out that help was abusing him. The tape you are about to see is disturbing, but needs to be seen.
You okay? You alright, Daddy?
Jackie Taylor says her 90-year-old father, John Taylor, is getting great care in the facility he's in now. She brought him to a nursing home after finding out he was being abused by his home caretaker. Taylor says she knew because of the security cameras she installed in their home. And this is what she saw 54-year-old Anastasia Olowich do on 4 different days while her father was in her care.
And in the video I saw, she's taking her fist and hitting him in the chest. She was hitting him in the stomach, hitting him in the arm. I mean, and then when we looked back a few days before, she had him on his side. She actually was taking her knuckles and she was banging him on the side of his temples, slapping him in the back of his head.
Mr. Taylor had suffered 2 strokes and was unable to defend himself or communicate. Police arrested Olowich and a grand jury indicted her on multiple counts of assault, abuse of a vulnerable adult, and reckless endangerment.
This is a woman who sat in my dining room every day and supposedly read the Bible. And then you look at that video and you go, oh my God, what God was she serving? Because it's not the one I know.
The next clip is of a vulnerable old woman who is sitting watching TV when a caregiver arrives to abuse her, as the elderly woman was accused of feeding the dog human food.
It's time to go to bed. Pick up that thing from me. I told you to stop feeding that dog that human food. And you have another $4,000 to put that dog back in the hospital? Why do you keep feeding that dog human food? Huh? Why do you? Huh? Get up. Get up and go to bed. Go to bed. Damn it. Bitch. That's all human food. Go to bed. I said, why do you feed that dog human food? Why do you keep feeding the dog human food? Shut up. Yes, you did. Stop lying to me. What? Stop lying to me. I know you gave it to her. You gave it to her. Go to bed and shut up. Go to bed. Damn it. You always feeding that dog. I'm telling you.
The next footage was captured and installed in Autumnwood Nursing Home in Livonia, Michigan, by the family of 89-year-old Hussein Yunus. The family of Hussein Yunus became suspicious after noticing bruises, cuts, and significant weight loss. Here we witness the vulnerable elderly man being racially and physically abused by a caregiver because he is Arab.
Oh, that's the one. Yeah, they should. Girl, that's the one you. And they want him to keep. Girl, every time he do, I document. It's your ass, good. That's the one with the. That's the one with the white. I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know if he's mad or not. This is Arab son. They work with the motherfucker. He's not going to judge you. He's going to be there for you. I think what he is telling me is you could be at home. We got into that stuff like, I don't have no reason not to. I'm going to put it all out on the night. We support it. Walk, 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 walk. mother don't stay up long enough for it to be an indignity issue for his ass. Yes. Every morning. She be on it. My thing is be on your own shit. You want to do shit all goddamn day. I love high school. I used to control people like that. Shut up. Stop. 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 Enough. Cut that light on. Enough. Enough.
The footage captures over 100 moments of mistreatment. Yunus was also denied water and had his call button taken away.
Nobody wants to listen to us. It's what the country's like. There's not enough people care. I mean, if I was strong about something, that I would take it somewhere, say to Parliament. I'm sure they wouldn't listen. They'd listen. They'd say, "Oh yes, dear, you know, we'll look into it." And that's how a lot of old folk feel.
I don't think people in this country like to talk or think about it.
Just imagine leaving our beloved family members in an environment that we believe to be the best support care for them, but instead finding out that it may have been the worst decision we ever made. This is the worst form of betrayal. What has the human race come to? They claim to take care of the elderly, and instead they are oppressing the lives of the most vulnerable generation, the generations that took care of them when they were vulnerable. This is surely one of the most invisible crimes today.